Hello, I'm Miss Jenny and I am going to show you how to make this fun cat toy craft you can make for your cat at home, or you can donate it to the Riley County Humane Society. So what you'll do is after you make this craft, you'll bring it back to the library to one of our donation boxes, and at the end of the summer we are going to give it to them to give to all the kitties that need to be adopted. So you'll have this bag right here, and in this bag you're going to have a few things. You'll have 6 pieces of longer yarn, so you'll have these 6. And then you have 1 piece of shorter yarn, and you'll know the difference because it's significantly shorter than the other ones, and that's this one for me right here. You will also have a craft stick. What you'll need from your house is some scissors. I have big scissors. And then you'll need some things to decorate it, and I have some markers that I'm going to use to decorate. This is going to be the craft handle, or the craft stick handle for the toy. So the first step is to cut grooves into the craft stick. So you'll take this, and we'll use the top tip right here, and about 1 inch down, so about here, you're going to cut grooves into the craft stick with your scissors. You may need a grown-up's help if you're a kid doing this. So you will take your scissors, about 1 inch down, so I'm going to go about right here. You're going to cut in just a little bit, maybe like 1 millimeter or so, and do it exactly on the other side. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just so you have where you want to go. Once you do that, you're going to make kind of a triangle, cutting in down like that, just to meet up. So you will cut to make that groove, and little pieces of the craft stick will fall away, but that's okay. So you'll cut to make that groove right there. Mine needs to be a little bit bigger, but there we go. Doing this side as well. So now you have the grooves of your cat toy craft that you'll need. You need that because you'll take this yarn and you're going to loop it around. So best thing to do is you'll take 3 of the pieces, and the other 3 pieces you will set to the side along with this short piece. So you'll lay them flat on the floor or on the table, kind of even, doesn't have to be perfect. And you'll go to the middle of that and just kind of pull up. And that looks about even to me. It looks about even, maybe a little bit. Yeah, right there looks good. And you'll take that loop that you just made right in the middle. You'll put that around those grooves you made, and that's just so it doesn't slip off. So you'll put it around the groove like that, and then you'll tie a knot, any knot you want, but tie it pretty tightly around the craft stick so it doesn't slip off that handle. So I'm just doing a regular knot with all of them together, and I like to push it towards so it gets really tight around it. Once I find that it's probably good, I just kind of like to do that to push it even further. And I'm actually going to do another knot, and the way that I do that, if you would like to, is I cut them in half like that, so 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and I like to wrap it behind, away from the knot that you just made, and I will twist them and bring it back to that side. But I want to do it under the knot, so instead of going this way, I want it this way so it won't slip that way as well. And then I'm going to do a knot with the 2 sides separate. So I'll use it to crisscross, like the first part of tying your shoe. So I'm going to tie those together. So I have the first one, and then you're going to do it the other way. And tie it pretty tight. There we go. So now you have your yarn attached to your stick. And so this is going to be the string to be for that cat toy. Now you are going to use these pieces of yarn to braid it, and you'll separate them into 3 groups. So each group is going to have 2 pieces of yarn. So I am actually going to separate them by color, because that's how it came in mine, and that's so you guys can also see the different parts of the braid that we're gonna make. So I'm gonna do pink as a group, and we'll do orange as the next group, and blue as the last group. So now you're gonna braid this. So you'll take, if you don't know how to braid, I'll show you really quick, kind of the general motion. So these are the 3 groups, pink, orange, and blue. And it's kind of a crisscross. So you take one side, so I'll take the pink one, and you cross it over the middle. Then your middle one is now pink. Then you take your blue one, the one on this side, and you cross it over the new middle, which is was this one, but now it's the blue. Then you take this side and you cross it over the middle. Orange is the new middle, and you keep doing it. And what you're going to want to do is to make this tight so it's a little more durable for those cats that are going to want to play with it pretty roughly. So it'll take a little bit of time, but you're going to tightly do it all the way till the end until you have, with the shortest piece of yarn that's left, because they're not all the same length, about, I'm going to say about 3 inches. So take some time to do that. So now that you have braided your yarn together, you are going to tie a knot at the end. I actually like to tie 2 knots at the very end to keep the braid all together. So I've already done one, but I'll show you how to do the other. I like to tie them all together, and then you get to pull it pretty tight. And then you have your handle for the cat toy. You'll have this. Mine's short right now, but I use less yarn than you're given. And then you have about 2 to 3 inches, preferably 3, at the end. So you can make your puff ball and tie it to it. So then you're going to set handle and string to the side and grab your other long pieces of yarn, which you will keep your short piece still separate because you'll need that for later. So I have my 3 long pieces. So I have a blue piece, and I have an orange piece, and I have a pink piece. I'm going to grab them, lay them flat like you did, and you'll match them up. And I am going to just put them all together. And I put them all together at the top. You don't have to match them in the middle. I like to match them at the top so I can grab it. And you're gonna wrap these around your finger, and I like to wrap them around here. And I use 3 fingers because that's how big my hand is. But if you're a kid, you could use 4 to wrap around. But I'm just gonna use 3. And you'll grab it with your fingers between your thumb, like that with the ends. And then you'll just start wrapping it. Not too tight, but also you don't want them loose. You just want them to lay against your fingers that are laying flat like that. And you'll just keep wrapping until you get to the other end of the string. So I've finished. So you take it off kind of carefully, trying to keep that middle right there, kind of like an O. And you can lay it down really carefully, keeping that middle, kind of like a little bird's nest. And now this is when you'll need your shorter piece of string. So I'm going to take this, which mine is blue, I'm going to put it first through the middle. I'm going to put it through the middle hole that we had. And then I'm going to pull it through. That's where I'm going to tie my first knot. Like that. To keep it kind of secure first. So I'm going to do a double knot. Like that. And then I'm going to take it and do another one, but instead of going around the hole again, I'm going to go around the entire thing. I'm going to wrap it. I like to wrap it like twice and then tie the knot. Maybe 3 times, depending on what you feel. Just so it's nice and tight. And then you'll tie a knot again. This one again, you want it pretty tight. This is just so those kitties can't pull any of the yarn out. And now you have this kind of messy looking thing. But what you're going to do so you can make your puff ball is you're going to take your scissors again, and each of those little loops you're going to cut. So you can cut a few at a time. I'm going to do probably like 3 or 4 at a time, and that's going to make the little strings on the puff. And you just start very carefully because you're using scissors and scissors are sharp. Like that. You gotta make sure you get those ones that are like hiding. If you recut something, that's okay, because we're gonna shape it in just a little bit. Okay, so once you've cut it, I like to check to make sure I didn't miss any loops, which I did. I missed this orange one and this pink one. I think that's it. So now I have really awkward pieces of yarn sticking out, and I'm just going to kind of trim those first. Okay, kind of shaping it a little bit, just getting rid of the long yarn. So now you have this, kind of weird, and then roll it between your hands like this. Like you're rubbing your hands together, but have it in the middle. Just so it loosens the yarn a little bit and it gets all poofy. This is like a fluffing technique of it. So now you have this, kind of silly. I'm going to shape it a little more, and I like to carefully make a circle with what I have, and then I look at it and I fluff it again. Fluff, fluff, fluff. And then now I have more string to cut. Take a different side, kind of make a circle out of that. Cut those little scragglers, and then fluff again. You'll just keep doing this until you get the shape you want, until you get kind of a ball, or you get all the string the size that you want. You kind of tickle it a little bit, so like kind of loosen it up. Keep cutting. So take some time and fluff and cut and repeat until you get the shape that you like, whether it's a perfect circle or sphere, 3D sphere looking thing. If you want to fluff up the yarn even more to make it even poofier, you can take a comb and actually comb out the yarn. It just takes a little bit. I'm not going to do that right now because I do not have a comb right here, but I'm going to keep fluffing and repeating until I get a ball. Okay, now I think I have the fluffy ball I like. Kind of fluff it a little more. That looks pretty fun. Looks like if I was a cat, I would want to play with this. But we are going to attach it to our handle and our string. So, this is why we left these 3 inches on the end, because that is how you're going to attach this to this. So I am going to I'm just going to use one of these first. I'm going to use my orange ones. And I am going to kind of take it and split it in half a little bit and find where you tied it. So I found mine. This is where I tied my short blue string. And I'm going to take this with my orange string, just so I can see the difference, and retie that. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to make a knot. Tie it pretty tight, and then make another, and then we'll tie that tight. And I'm gonna do that with the other string. I'm just gonna do it one more time and then cut the other pieces. So I'm gonna take my blue string. No, I already have blue string. I'll take my pink string and do that. Just do another little double knot around that same spot. And then you'll take your scissors again and you're just gonna cut those little scragglers off again. So I'm gonna go there, and I have a long blue string right here, and then these orange and blue ones, and then these orange and pink ones, and then kind of fluff it again, kind of get it back to that ball shape. And then oops, put it in there. So now you have your cat toy that has this fluffy ball at the end. You have your string, which usually will be longer, and you have your handle. So this part's optional. You can decorate the handle if you want. I am going to write actually a little note to the cat that's going to use this. I'm going to say, "Dear cat, please have fun with this toy." I'm gonna put little hearts, and we'll do an orange one as well. Little hearts on it. And then, oh, I have a whole nother side. So I'm gonna put a few more hearts on it, a star, and then I'm gonna draw like a little cat head, smiley face. And I'm gonna put "from Jenny," or "from Miss Jenny," just so they know who it came from. One more little heart, because those kitties need all the lovin's. So we have the one side that says "from Miss Jenny," and we have the other side that says, "Dear cat, please have fun with this toy," with a bunch of hearts on it. And that is how you make your cat toy. So now you can give it to your kitty, or you can give it to the library's donation boxes, so we can give it to the Riley County Humane Society, so they can give it to the little kitties that are waiting to be adopted.